About 5 years ago, I came out of a pub in Manchester in England, and I was standing like this, very rock solid and steady, just one drink. In that pub, I'd noticed there was Peroni on sale. At the time, Peroni owned by SAB Miller. And as I stood there wondering about globalization and South Africa's role in it, a Bidvest Food Services truck came rumbling past, and I went, Peroni, SAB Miller in the pub, Bidvest Food Services truck comes running past, and as the truck went past, down the road, my eye caught a Nando's sign. And I just went, hold on a second, all I need now is for some guy with a briefcase to say, I'm from Old Mutual, would you like life insurance? And my day would have been complete. That didn't happen, by the way, but all the rest did. And it struck me that South Africa has had extraordinary success. South African companies have had extraordinary global success over the last 15 to 20 years, growing local companies into the global arena. And I wondered how that was possible. How is it possible that companies that grow up in a chaotic environment that is South Africa for the last 20 or 30 years find it possible to go and compete in some of the toughest and most competitive markets anywhere in the world? So I started doing some research. And thriving on the edge of chaos is the talk for 2018. What has made it possible for South African companies to box above their weight, to go internationally and to take on the very best at what they do in other parts of the world and in themselves become global leaders? In doing this, I've managed to use great access to some of South Africa's sharpest minds to get their deep insights as to what shaped their businesses in South Africa at a time where other companies have given up, other companies have gone offshore, other companies have packed their bags and gone far away. Is it about the founders of these businesses who are extraordinary, visionary, courageous leaders? Is it about the businesses themselves? Is it about the business models? Thriving on the Edge of Chaos in 2018 will tell your audiences what they need to know to thrive for the next decade ahead. It's an extraordinary story of tenacity, of courage, of ego. A lot of the time, quite frankly, some of these guys have got quite high opinions of themselves, and thank goodness they do. But there is one secret ingredient that all of the founders of great South African companies that I've spoken to have. And in order to find that out, you're going to have to book Thriving on the Edge of Chaos, because I can't give it away here. That would be irresponsible. The JSE, on the day Nelson Mandela was released from prison, nearly 28 years ago in 2 weeks' time, the JSE, the top 40 companies on the JSE, 23 were gold mining companies. Today, there is not a single one on the top 40 of the JSE. What happened to them? Well, they disappeared into history. They disappeared. They didn't evolve. They couldn't change. Most of the companies on the JSE today either didn't exist or were in their infancy in 1990 when Nelson Mandela walked free from prison. We've seen extraordinary innovation, we've seen extraordinary courage, and we've seen extraordinary creativity for thriving on the edge of chaos. Have a look at this. It's like the movies.
In Chinese proverb,
Stephen
crisis
Kosef
also presents opportunity.
Adrian Gore of Discovery.
Don't have networks. Simply don't
Stephen
have
Sard
networks.
at Aspen.
I write my ideas down and to start the business. It's much more difficult. I saw it, I knew what was required.
So if you want your teams to learn from some of the brightest minds in South Africa over the last 20 years as to how they can build and create and change their businesses over the next 20, Thriving on the Edge of Chaos is for you. Thanks very much for listening. Cheers.